I firmly believe that Rockstar has given us the most details that we have ever seen before about GTA 6, and I'm excited to share this with you. So the company that owns Rockstar is TakeTwo Interactive. They recently released their earnings report. We remain confident that we are positioning our business for a significant inflection point in fiscal 2025, include new record levels of operating performance. Pair this with Rockstar having already officially announced the new GTA is being developed. Nothing really new right here. Until today, when Rockstar announced that they've officially bought out a developer team, the team behind FiveM, which is a popular modification for GTA 5. Now, a lot of the FiveM community are concerned about this deal, but I actually think that this acquisition is a sign that GTA 6 is actually going to surpass everyone's already rocket high expectations. So let's talk about why. In May 2023, TakeTwo Interactive CEO Strauss Zelnick spoke on CNBC explaining that the company expects substantial growth in fiscal year 25 and 26. So I'll play the clip and then I'll explain why this is important.
First television interview since the company reported fourth quarter results last week, with revenue beating the street and signals of a very strong future slate of games. And I think that's the headline here. Strauss, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
All right, so this was huge news. You are not somebody who, is big on theatrics or is into hyperbole or any of those things. But last week, when you talked about your earnings and your guidance, you said that you're going to be looking at more than $8 billion in revenue next year for games. And that's 45% ahead of the midpoint of the street's estimates on things. That is huge, huge news. And it's got people speculating that you've got to have Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out.
So we've said that we're working on the next iteration of Grand Theft Auto, but Rockstar hasn't announced a release date yet. In this instance, we wanted to give the street the transparency it's been asking for. So we basically gave an outlook for this fiscal year and subsequent too. And what's interesting is we have high expectations for fiscal 25, but we also expect sequential growth in fiscal 26.
So if GTA 6 is rumored to launch in late 2024, why would they expect so much growth into 2025 and 2026? Well, my guess is that Rockstar is hoping to monetize much more than just the initial launch sales period, which means they want us gamers to spend more money on the game after we've bought the game. Rockstar, of course, is already making a heck of a lot of money from GTA Online as it is, and I believe that with GTA 6, they're going to want to go even harder on this, which means that Rockstar's actually going to have to give us more value to get more money out of us. The other option is to restrict more basic options behind a paywall, but that's not a good business. It's not going to make them a lot more money. Considering how dated GTA 5 Online is, since it launched back in 2013 and it's now 2023, 10 years later, I believe that FiveM is their answer to this. Or at least part of their answer to this. A lot of you will know what FiveM is already, but if you don't, here is a trailer explaining it to you.
Every player will guide their character naturally to progress in the world, and along the way will have to converse, trade, and plunder, with or against other characters. Right out of the gate, you will have endless opportunities to earn and spend cash with new activities, from making an honest living in sanitation to taking on new heists with your crew. The civilian and criminal world are perpetually intertwined. As a criminal, you'll rely on civilians for access to resources, services, and cleaning your dirty money. But not so fast. There are consequences to your actions in RP. NoPixel is manned by a police force with real players, complete with brand new tools to keep you behind bars, such as the new dispatch system, MDW, vehicles, and a fully functional department building. You'll have to play it smart to keep yourself out of the justice system. Not so lucky? Call yourself a lawyer. Contend with the DOJ and cut your time down with the Department of Corrections.
So everything you just saw, Rockstar has also seen. And I think that's why they've bought the company that made this. Rather than shut it down, which they have actually tried to do in the past, I think Rockstar has realized that it wants to compete with the likes of Roblox and Fortnite. Not for a battle royale or anything like that, but for a shared digital space. Knowing that the more time that we spend in their digital world, the more money that we're also going to spend. Now, I was expecting Rockstar to clamp down on FiveM and instead build their own dedicated team. or do what they've already done here now and essentially use FiveM as a third-party research tool to test the waters without having to fund or manage any of it, ready to buy the company about a year prior to the launch period, giving them enough buffer time to get ready for GTA 6. So what does this all mean? Well, my guess is, I think it means that we see more integrated social experiences in GTA 6 Online. I think we'll see the ability to take on digital roles, maybe even create our own roles, like being a police officer or a shopkeeper or a real estate agent or anything. Millions of gamers taking on these different roles would create a heck of an economy in which, of course, Rockstar can make a lot of money out of. If we especially think about the direction that Roblox and Fortnite have taken in essentially allowing developers to build their own games within their game and monetize that entire ecosystem. I'm wondering if Rockstar allows creators, developers, gamers, etc. to develop their own environment. Essentially, this could be Rockstar's foray into the user-generated content environment, because UGC, as it stands for, is incredibly profitable. As an example, YouTube literally uses the UGC model on user-generated content. The video you're watching is generated by a user, me. If Rockstar builds the foundations for this, it's going to make so much more money than GTA 5 ever did, and very much sustain past 2025, 2026, and into the next decade. So whilst I might be getting way too optimistic about this, I also want to put out my predictions because I can either be historically incorrect or potentially and hopefully historically correct. It'll feel a lot better when I make GTA 6 content, hopefully next year.